I am so happy, I'm thrilled to have the one and only legendary Palm Springs Folly, Shirley Claire. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm here. I'm in my own home, and I'm so happy to have you here.
It's such a beautiful place. I love this place. It looks like you designed it for me to just move right in.
Yeah.
But you know, you have done so many wonderful things. Your story, just all the way around, not even just your professional story, but your personal story also, is quite a testimony. So I want to go through a little bit of it, if we can.
Well, I survived 3 deaths. I've been married 4 times, and 3 of my husbands did die.
That is so hard. And I know one of your husbands you actually nursed first. He was a paraplegic, right?
Yes, he was. I was a caretaker for 15 years. I always tell a joke about it because I have to make levity out of tragedy.
Yes.
But I always say 3 of my husbands died, and I almost killed the 4th one getting a divorce. But each death was either a nervous breakdown. Well, I had a 5-year-old to raise, a 5-year-old son whose name is Michael, and maybe you'll meet him before we leave. And I had to support him, so I went back on the road singing. So I was single for 15 years. But what you have to do is get up every morning, put your feet on the ground, and just say, that's behind me, I have to go forward because life is worth living and it's absolutely wonderful just to be alive.
I love that. I love what you say because I have a similar story in that I am the oldest living girl hemophiliac in the world.
Really?
Yes, I was not supposed to live past 12.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And because it's so rare for girls. And people ask me so often, you know, why is it that you're as happy as you are? Well, when you live every day as if it could be your last day.
It could be, yes.
You really take things a little more lighthearted, number one. But your priorities are different. The people that matter to you know they matter to you because you don't have time to go back and tell them because you might not be there and they might not be there. And I know that that's something that people say about you is it's your spirit that speaks larger than everything that you've done.
Well, I found that since I've reached 91 that I've lost so many friends. I seem to be the last surviving one of about most of the girls that I've worked with, and it's they've all been a loss, but here I am. I mean,
and
life is
beautiful
wonderful.
to boot.
Well, you're very fine. Thank you very much.
With the beautiful home that you've opened up to us. And so I'm going to talk just one more moment about you personally, because I find it to be so inspiring. When you started as one of the Palm Springs Follies,
Well, when I was in the Palm Springs Follies, I was already easily into my 70s.
Oh my gosh!
I started when I was 10 years old in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh my gosh!
I've been in show business for 80 years.
Oh my gosh!
I had already retired. I never dreamed I'd go into another show.
That is amazing. But I know that you pop right back because I also saw you singing on America's Got Talent.
Yes, I did that. Then I did the Miley Cyrus videos. All of that was...
And she kissed you, didn't she?
5 times.
She's famous for those kisses.
Yes, they were lovely little kisses. Nothing serious, just nice little kisses. She's a wonderful girl.
She is. Very wonderful spirit also.
Oh, yes.
So thank you so much for having us in your home. I am going to now break for just a moment and we'll be back to chat with her about this fantastic career of 80 years. Hi. Thank you for watching the Coach Lynn Lifetime channel. Make sure to subscribe and join the Coach Lynn's Lifetime channel. And these were some of the costumes. They're so beautiful. I love this. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Oof. Look at that.
Oh, you look wonderful in that.
Oh my goodness.
Palm Canyon Theater. I'm going to donate them all to the theater.
Try this one. This is gorgeous. I love that.
Well, you look wonderful in any of them.
It's so, and you're like the same size as I am.
Yeah. 2.
Yes, that's crazy.
Or small, whatever it
Or
is.
extra small. These are so beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. I've enjoyed wearing them, and it's hard for me to believe I ever wore this many. I look back on them, I wonder where the hell they all came from. Want to buy it? Come on down. Oh, well, that would fit. Oh, no, that's big now.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I wore that a lot.
I feel like a little girl going to do dress up.
Well, everybody loves to go through closets.
And so,
Well, that screen is very interesting. That's the third season of the Follies. They presented me that screen when I retired. And then I went on to do another show for Greg Purdy. But 3 years of the Follies, 10 shows a week.
oof.
Taking hands with thousands of people over the years. And it was a joy every time the curtain would go up. The people would just be screaming and hollering and yelling.
And you just feel that.
Yes, you can. You really can.
We are back with Shirley, and we are going to talk about something that we've both experienced. And a lot of women, for some reason, don't ever want to talk about it once they've survived battering or abuse. And both of us feel passionately that it's something we should talk about.
It should be spoken about because how do you learn if you don't go and hear other people's experiences? Mine was I've been punched with a closed fist, I've been spat upon, I was pushed, I was had my baby in my arms and I was jumped upon. And you've been down the same road.
I have.
That's beyond abusive, that's a battered woman.
Right. I was literally, when I finally crawled out of the basement, these things are in my book, this man literally chained me in our basement.
Oh my God.
And I could have died down there.
Yes, you could.
But I remembered that my mother always said, you're a champion, don't look down, always look up. And so he came down one day and he would call me terrible names. He played Russian roulette with a gun to my head. And he finally said, you're worthless. And this one time he came down, screamed and yelled at me, kicked me, spat on me, and then he left. And I said, oh my God, I think he forgot to chain me back up.
Oh.
And I was so weak, Shirley, that at that point I just said, okay, God, please, I'm going to just climb. Please, God, I couldn't walk up the stairs, so I climbed up the stairs.
Oh, sweetheart.
And I said, if I get to the top stair, God, I'm praying that this door is not locked. I promise if I get to the top stair, I will never come back. I climbed up the stairs and the door was unlocked.
Oh my God.
So I escaped into the dark, into the night, and called one of my clients. And she said, I'm going to put you on a plane to New York City. I love you very much, but don't ever come back.
Oh my God, what a story.
And so many women suffer quietly, and abuse and battering is non-discriminatory. It doesn't matter how much money you have, what social economic status you're, what your educational background is.
Yes, but they say, people say, just leave. Well, that's the joke,
Right.
Just leave. Well, what if you have a beautiful home or even an ordinary or wherever you live, it doesn't matter. Where do you go?
Where
Back
are you
to your
supposed
mother?
to go? Right.
You take your babies or your family and you move into your old room in your mother's home or what? So you stay.
If your mother's still alive.
This is true, and that's lots of people, we have nobody, depending on the age, because it can happen at any age. I happen to be in my 20s when it happened to me.
Me too.
But it happens to people in their 30s, their 40s. It doesn't matter how old you are. Where do you go?
Yes.
So there are help now that it's become public for all these years. There are battered women's. You would know better than I because that's what you do. But there are places
what's so
to
interesting is there's a gap. You can go to the shelters, but they're kind of almost like homeless shelters. So you go to the shelter, but the shelter itself is dangerous in many cases, and you can only stay one night. So so a lot of women who you see as homeless women were battered women.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, and that's why they're on the streets.
I never even occurred to me that could be the case.
And then they become mentally unstable because you're raped and all kinds of things happen to you on the streets.
Oh my God.
So our society, first of all, we need to talk about it. So we have to use our voices. We have to talk to each other, first of all, because sometimes we're our best support system.
Well, it's hard to sit there and say my husband is beating me up and or he did this to me last night or whatever. But friends are so terribly important. And if you can get one to stay with you for 3 years, then you build the trust. But the trust has to have been built, and only time gives you trust.
Absolutely.
And so I just went back to work.
And so many times that's exactly what we do.
Well, work is the fortifying, that's the staff of life.
It is, oh my God, that is so true. I was in such bad shape. You know, so many of us have these stories. But we don't tell them. We don't tell these stories.
But you wrote a book. Now you have to write another book. Just insert that in there. My Happiness with David.
I know. And now everyone knows about my sweetie now because we had a big, beautiful wedding in Tuscany.
Oh, in Tuscany. Oh, how lovely.
So there's always a happy ending if you keep going.
Well, you have to. I don't believe in suicide, and I certainly don't believe in drugs.
Yes.
I imagine people get addicted to drugs because it takes them to a happier place. That's possible.
Until the drugs turn around and take you to a really bad place.
To a really bad place, I know. So to end on a light note, you just have to get up and have self-respect for yourself. Because a man does not validate a woman. A woman is her own self, and she is individual and like nobody else. Everybody is different. We all approach things differently, but for God's sake, just get up in the morning and try to look at that sunshine and think, today may be different. The phone will ring. Something will happen from some other person. It happens through people.
Yes, yes.
It does.
This wall is a beautiful wall. These are some of the things that this beautiful woman has done. And I'm thrilled to sit in your office in front of this wall.
Thank you, Lynn.
And what I'm really hoping is that I can take one of the pictures.
I don't have very many. I threw them all away.
Oh my God, I can't.
But I'd love to take the wall with. The wall is interesting. It's back here in the corner so that nobody ever sees it, but I bring special people back.
Oh.
Because it seems egotistical, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's a testament. You worked hard, and it's a testimony to everything that you achieved.
Well, this one's a more interesting wall because there's a lot of people that I work with. There's a stock company for Music Man right in back of you. There's Martin DeCosta, and that's my Piccalilli. I'm up in the right there. Piccalilli.
Oh my God.
That's the stock company. And Peggy Lee and Arthur Godfrey and Rowan Martin and just lots of people that I worked with, Jimmy Durante.
Oh.
And all those names are going to be forgotten if we don't preserve them somehow.
That's right. Well, we're preserving it right here, always. Well, thank you so much for just giving me a thrill.
Oh, well, it was my joy, and thank you so much, Lynn, for coming to my home. Thank you.
High before my number's up. I'm gonna fill my cup. I'm gonna live, live, live.